It was a quiet morning in Abe the Axolotl's bedroom. Sunshine streamed through the window, casting golden ripples across his tank. Abe stretched his pink, soft gills and yawned. The little castle bubbled gently beside him, and his plants swayed with the flow. He climbed out of his tank and sat in the garden. Then a familiar sparkle caught his eye. It was Infobug, Abe's tiny glowing yellow friend with 4 delicate wings and a trail of magic dust. He hovered over, twirling in the air like a floating firefly.
Abe!
Infobug called in his soft, kind voice.
Are you ready for another adventure?
Abe's eyes lit up in excitement. Where are we going today? He said. Infobug spun in a little circle.
Today, you're going to learn something very important. How to cross the road safely.
Abe blinked. Cross the road? But I've never even been on a road.
That's why I'm here to help.
Infobug said with a smile.
Grab your shorts and let's go!
With a sprinkle of magic dust, Abe and the Infobug took off over the house and then landed in the street. They walked past gardens, fences, and birds hopping along the grass. Abe's eyes were wide. Everything seemed so big out here. Soon they came to a street, not too busy, but with the occasional car humming past. A yellow recycling truck rumbled by, beeping cheerfully as it stopped to collect bins. Abe stopped at the edge of the sidewalk and peered across. So, how do we cross? He said.
Great question,
said Infobug, who hovered just above his shoulder.
Before we cross any road, there are some very important rules. These rules are stop, look, and listen. First, we always stop.
Abe froze. Like this?
Perfect!
Infobug nodded.
Now we look and listen. Look left.
Abe turned his head.
Then right and left again.
Abe looked carefully in both directions, his big blue eyes scanning for any cars, bikes, or buses.
Did you hear anything?
Infobug asked. Abe listened. A bird chirped, a leaf rustled, but no cars. Nope, he said.
Good,
said the Infobug.
That's step 2. Listen for engines or wheels. Now step 3. Only cross at a safe place, like a zebra crossing or traffic lights.
Abe pointed with his finger. There's a zebra crossing just there.
Great spotting,
said Infobug. They walked over to the black and white strips on the road.
Now,
Infobug said,
stand right at the edge. We will wait until all the cars have stopped. Make eye contact with the drivers if you can.
Abe smiled at a small red car. The driver smiled back and then came to a stop.
They've seen us,
said the Infobug.
Now it's safe. Let's cross, but never ever run.
Abe walked slowly across the crossing, Infobug flying beside him. Wow, Abe whispered. I'm really doing it. When they reached the other side, Abe turned around and looked at the road with pride. That wasn't so scary.
You did amazing,
Infobug beamed.
You stopped, you looked, you listened, and you only crossed when it was safe.
Abe was so happy with himself that he gave the Infobug a squishy little high five. What happens if there's no zebra crossing? Abe asked. The Infobug answered.
Then you find a safe, clear place where you can see in both directions and where drivers can see you. And never cross between parked cars or behind bushes.
Abe nodded. Always where I can see and be seen, he said.
Exactly,
said the Infobug. They continued their walk through the neighborhood. At one point, they came to a busy road with traffic lights. Abe watched how the red man on the signal turned green, and everyone began to cross together. Infobug hovered near the light.
At crossings like this, we wait until the green signal shows. Then we walk quickly but safely.
Abe practiced again, stopping, looking, listening, and then crossing with care. After a while, they looped around the neighborhood and came back to Abe's garden. The adventure had been fun and full of learning. Back in his room, Abe settled into his tank with a smile. The water was cool and calm, and the little castle bubbled beside him as usual. Infobug landed on the desk.
I'm proud of you, Abe. You were careful, clever, and kind.
Abe gave a sleepy grin. Thanks, Infobug. I'll always stop, look, and listen when I'm crossing the road. Road safety is serious, even for axolotls. And as the sun dipped lower in the sky, Abe relaxed by his castle in the corner of the tank. Outside the window, the road continued to hum with life, but now Abe understood it just a little better. Abe drifted off to sleep, dreaming of crossings, curbs, and confident, careful steps. With a swirl of magic dust and a quiet glow, Infobug disappeared into the air.